We love beers.
We love finance.
And we love more beers.
Together, we're Finance on Tap.
I'm Dan,
I'm Baxter.
And I'm Nathaniel.
and this podcast is for people that love beers and want to learn about finance. So let's get into today's episode.
Happy New Year!
We've got
2026.
Now, I've been
Year of
wanting-
the what?
What is the year? What is the Chinese
horse.
year? It is a
The
horse
horse.
again.
Year of the horse. Yeah.
Ah, how did I not know
Baxter's
that?
favorite.
We've got some beers this week, as always. Now, this is the blackberry sour.
Oh,
Oh,
I've been telling you, I've been wanting this for a while because at the where we seem to go for meetings, business meetings,
yes.
they always have these for sale, and today we finally managed to pick them up. I'll pass one to you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm excited about it.
Pass
Look
one
at the
to you.
graphic on this. Can I
It
just
is really nice.
zoom in
Yeah.
on that? Look
That's
at
one thing. Before we even get to the taste, and the bartender said that they taste quite nice.
3.9.
But before we get to the taste,
Then
S-
immediately
S
3.9. Yes.
3.9.
When they really get to know you, they will run.
Yeah.
But S plus on the can graphics, right?
Digital illustration by Aaron Craig.
It's from Aether. Is that how you say it? Aether Brewing?
Yeah, Aether.
The art
Ether.
of the
It's like
craft.
ether, but it has an A in front of it. So it's
Ether.
Yeah, but
What
ether
is
doesn't
with-
have
what
an
is
A in
with
front of it, no?
Silent letters, man.
Yeah, but
Ether. It's Greek.
Yeah.
I disagree. Well, ether, I don't know. Ether has an A in front of it. I could be wrong here.
Ether.
All right.
If you're the two viewers listening, correct me. And what did we do last time?
Yeah.
That needs to stop.
It does, but it's so good. Oh, I just love that sound. The first beer of the year.
Bars.
What? It's even got like a
Apparently-
fruity tingle to it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's blackberry flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Was-
Cheers, boys.
Blackberry. Cheers. Happy 2026.
2026. Ooh.
It's
I can definitely taste the sour.
it's weird for a beer. Okay, I like it, but I wouldn't consider this like a standard beer flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's actually crazy, right? I'm gonna hot top the topic for a second before we get into the beer chat. When I was in Japan recently, last year in November,
That's dreadful.
so I went to a place that sells, matcha.
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 Sorry, matcha,
Yeah.
not matcha. I'm saying mochi. Matcha.
Bet
You
you
know
had too
matcha?
much of it.
They sell matcha beer.
Mm.
So it was
Matcha
like, it
beer.
was in a pint and it was a matcha beer.
Yeah.
It was tastes like absolute ass. Like it was not great, but it was definitely an experience to have. And it kind of reminds me, this is actually a better version of like a matcha beer. Like it's like something that shouldn't be a beer, but is a beer,
Okay.
but works.
So if you were gonna eat, drink, it'd be this one. Is that where you're going with that?
Where are you going with this? This is
Can you
blackberry.
rephrase that question,
Sorry.
please? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Because you said the matcha beer tastes kind of like ass, and this is like tasting like ass too.
How do you know what that tastes
So
like?
out of both of the, which one would you want to
Rather,
eat?
yeah.
Drink? Probably this one.
So, you like home loans?
Anyway, 2026.
2026.
But how was
What-
Japan?
Yeah, how was
Actually.
Japan? Let's go around maybe. Because we all went.
It's
different
been a bit
ways.
of a break. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Holidays.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the right. Maybe you start.
Well, you started.
You're
were
in
talking
the
about
middle, and then we
Japan.
go around this way, anti-clockwise.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I went from the end of October, early November, or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I had a bit of break. I went to Japan. My sister graduates this year, so she's just on prac. So I took her to Japan for a
Congratulations.
graduation gift.
Well done.
Semi out of the goodness of my heart, semi out of the, she'll be a dentist next year. So, in like 5 years, I got like kids and all that kind of pull her. Hey, remember that time I took you on a holiday? It's your turn to take me on and the whole family. So,
Make sure you're listening.
bit of a strategical play there. Yeah, she
Yeah.
listens, so she'll probably hear that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelsey.
Yeah, shout out to Kelsey for taking, the family in the future on the way. Then Kelsey head home at the end of November, and I went over to Thailand where I worked virtually, and I did. I worked.
I wasn't winging.
I
for
worked
any reason.
remotely a little bit, and just went out there, explored Thailand.
How was that working virtually? I'm just always curious.
Yeah, I went and got a like not a virtual office. What's it called? Like there's like digital nomad offices. So I went there. I had like my own little desk for like, you know, the period of time and moved around places and all that kind of stuff. It was good. It was hard to stay as like productive, obviously being in like a different environment and all that kind of stuff. But one thing I really enjoyed was the fact that like most people that I work with want to speak after business hours. So like, you know, like your 5, 6, 7
So the time
o'clock.
difference.
Because
Seven.
Thailand's like,
3 hours, right?
Sorry.
because Thailand, I wish I heard Luke be like, bro. Because Thailand's like several hours behind. So is it easier?
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, like I'd like to see you at 7 o'clock. Like, yeah, whatever. I can see you at 7 o'clock. To me, it's like 4 o'clock
It's 4 o'clock. Okay.
in the afternoon.
In the morning or
Afternoon.
afternoon?
Yeah.
But no, as far as that, it was a nice, like, just wholesome trip. You know, fun. What's going on?
Aw.
Yeah, that was cool.
Live, laugh, love kind of vibe.
What about you? You had a
Where did Dan go? Where did Dan and Woodrow go?
What did you do over the
did
Christmas
I do?
holidays?
We went to Shanghai, which was
Yeah,
pretty
right.
cool. We went over there with my in-laws and my family.
I've had a few clients tell me about how they knew you were in Shanghai.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
right.
I spoke to
They
a
must
few
be
of
like following your socials or something.
them. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good then. And then I don't know where you were going with that. That sounds good. Which was really cool. And you know what was what I really noticed about Shanghai, because I've obviously never been there before. And I'm not sure how popular tourism is in Shanghai.
It's more low than you'd expect, like Shanghai.
Ah, good one. Very good. But what was really cool, I felt very safe there.
Yeah, right.
Like because I've traveled a little bit now, like well, mostly through Asian countries, but like through Shanghai, it was like there was police everywhere. I felt like you could leave your belongings on the floor and you could
Really?
actually come back and get them.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like the discipline that people have there is crazy. Like to give you an idea, because it was New Year's, right, when we traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was hectic, busy. I've never seen so many people in my life. Like you literally couldn't move in front of you. You know, it was crazy.
Yeah,
But
wow.
when the lights go to cross the road, they had the police there that were actually like look like soldiers, like helping you get across the road.
Yeah, yeah.
It was insane. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, that's just what I noticed. Discipline's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we went to Hong Kong with Harmony's family. Well, that's where Harmony's from, my wife. And now we're back.
Cool.
Happy days. Happy days.
Yeah.
And what about, I think you also did some travel.
I did travel.
Yep.
Yep.
All right,
Cool.
we
Yeah.
can move on then.
Traveling was good. I went to Philippines.
Mm.
Family, visited some family. I think my biggest takeaway was perspective, you know?
What do
I
you
think
mean?
like when you get all in like, you know, your grind and everything, it's and then you travel, you think you see everything from a different perspective.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's good to wind back a little bit and just,
That's good.
you know,
What
Connect.
perspective have you seen?
like your problems aren't as big as you
Yeah.
know, like when you go back to a third world country, you know, people, you know, working to get food on the table, shelter over their head, in the you know, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of puts everything to a big picture, and you're like, wow, like, you know, my bubble isn't as big as I thought it was.
Yeah. It
Fair
makes you
enough.
appreciate stuff. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's what's really cool about traveling.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I traveled, you know, because before that, you're right, you're in a bubble where you're like, yeah, this is cool. But then you go over there and you're like, what the hell? Like, it's different world.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
insane.
You learn to appreciate like I think the finer things in life, which is just like peace and quiet a little bit, you know? Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
What's the new year, boys?
New year 2026.
2026, and like every single year, I think everyone starts to set their goals up, and you know what we're not going to do. I'm going to go to the gym every single day, and
Do that,
thank you.
help Luke out here.
Yeah, let me help you out as well.
No, Luke said mine's fine.
Yeah,
Yours is a bit.
you gotta put it closer to your mouth. A little bit closer.
I'm trying
Don't
to be.
swallow it. Just put it a little
Yeah,
bit
just-
closer. That's fine. But 2026 goals, and you know what's interesting. So we're setting our goals up for 2026.
Yeah.
And I must say, we had a guest speaker in the office. Was it yesterday?
The day before Tuesday.
Day before Tuesday.
Like the day before on Tuesday.
On
Not the day
Tuesday.
before Monday would have been the day before Tuesday.
Anyway, this guy was incredible. Won't go into that story, but I'm sure.
Who was the guest speaker?
Lachlan Stewart. He did 50 marathons and 58, sorry. 50 states in, was it America? And then
And
8
Australia.
And 8 in Australia.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Incredible story. So Lachlan Stewart, if you want to look into that.
His
But
mindset's crazy.
mindset was crazy. So there you go. But the one thing that I got, because I've listened to a lot of these like speakers before, right? Most of them speak the same thing, like do the little things, do your 1%ers, all this kind of stuff. But the one thing I got out of it was so cool was, what are you not willing to sacrifice? Which I thought was really cool, because we're all thinking about, oh, I want to write more loans, I want to get fitter, I want to do this, I want to do that. But it's the first time I've actually gone, what am I not willing to sacrifice in my life to make my goals happen?
Your non-negotiables.
My non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I was like, damn.
So does that mean that
That's
there's
deep.
some things that you've already acquired which are more important than your goals?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It just gave me something to think about, which I thought was really cool.
I thought the small win thing was really good. Like how because I'm and he said it very well, is like everyone like has these sessions where they're like, oh yeah, I hear all this, like I'm G'd up, I'm gonna go set this like hectic goal, and because they're like all G'd up in like a positive mindset, they're gonna like set an outrageous goal, which is good. But then it feels too like unattainable after like a week.
Yeah.
And then it now like feels more distant and distant. But then the small goal thing was like the small wins is like if you need to, on a daily basis, but you should be doing it, but at least a weekly, like record what your small wins of the week were. Like, I didn't do X, X, and X, or I did this and this. And then like reflecting on those, and those build up to make steps towards it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
What was that face?
I'm not sure. I just felt like pulling a face to Nathaniel. Just,
No, I agree.
Cool.
No, I've been listening to a lot of like audiobooks recently.
Okay.
Name one.
Specifically, Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene.
Was
That's
that
been a really
before or
good
after
one.
Magic Mike?
Huh?
Actually, I did. When you came into the office, I think yesterday,
Yeah.
you had one going.
Yeah,
I was
That
playing,
was so
yeah.
He
funny.
came in, he was
I
trying
know.
to tell us the thing.
And after this,
Because we saw him and he was like, well, my brother, are you okay? You seem like you've had a rough morning. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm all good. And then his phone like starts playing and it's like, and that's why you need to feel good about yourself. Brothers in the
it's been dark.
Yeah.
Been dark.
I think it's been a crazy few months,
Yeah.
for everyone. And I think just getting in the right mindset has been the main priority.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of restructuring and finding out, hey, what's working, what's not working. That's what I got to, kind of focus on.
Yeah.
in
That's
what,
the main-
in what
main goal.
context? Like business or?
Business, personal. I
Mm.
think everything bleeds into everything, especially when you're in our industry, right?
Yeah.
Like the lights don't turn off,
No.
they're just always on. So you kind of focusing your attention, like the spotlight kind
It's
of.
always so good with his metaphors, eh?
He's great.
You
He's like
The
the
lights
Filipino.
come on
don't
now.
turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Speaking of the lights don't turn off,
Mm.
pivot back to the lending side of things here, which, kind of what we do.
Yeah, finance on tap.
Finance on tap. There's been a few changes happen recently. There's two things that I want to talk about with you boys
Okay.
that I
Okay.
want to hear your thoughts about. Now, one of them I had actually a conversation with Nathaniel about today, which I probably shouldn't have spoke about as much as I wanted to earlier.
Ooh.
Oh.
The other one I haven't. No, but it was natural, like, because I was talking to Richie about it and
Yeah.
Nathaniel came over.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so we'll get to that one in a second.
Okay.
But the one
'Cause
I
we have
want,
different opinions on that one.
we do. We have
We do.
Nathaniel and I have different opinions on
Alright.
this one, which is
I
cool.
wanna hear
Which
it.
is interesting.
But we'll park that for a second. We'll get to the first one. So, and this is something I know that I've been asked probably about 10 times in the last 2 weeks, which because the kind of clientele that I work with for. And I'm interested to hear if you guys have heard much about it. A lot of the majors
Yeah.
stepping away / restricting trust lending.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting, because like I said, I'm getting a lot on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you guys getting much on it? If so,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, it was sold as a cheat code, and I mean, you can jump on social media and you'll just see it. A lot of people on social media sell it openly, which is not a great thing to do, is it?
No.
It's like, hey, we've got.
It was kind of like a bit of like borrowing capacity arbitrage,
Yeah.
you know, because like
But I think
how it's structured, you know what I mean?
I think you've done right, yes. But
Mm.
at the same time, if done right, then it's warranted.
Yeah.
I actually think that it's not going to make a huge difference, the major stepping back,
Mm.
because when you guys are talking, like when we're talking about these kind of, the kind of people that are
Scenarios.
looking at doing this stuff, they're usually
Yeah.
pretty savvy investors.
Yeah.
Like you don't really get someone that wants to do a one and done, like I'm going to go buy in a trust. Or it's people that are already pretty switched on, savvy investors. They've got like ambition and that kind of stuff. Like if you only want to do a one and done, why are you doing it under a trust, right?
Yeah.
And usually if you're buying under a trust, you've already done like, again, like you've got some kind of education around it. Like you don't just like say, I'm going to buy in a trust. Like, there's normally a reason behind it.
It'll be thought out.
And
You'd
I would say for me, like I do a lot of trusts, right? I would say about like at least 8 out of 10 of the trust applications are already going through lenders, right? Not majors. It's very rare that you get a purchase done through a major. And for most of the time when you're doing a trust purchase, it's usually with like a high cash flow orientated property
The
or
focus
like
is
something
borrowing
like that
capacity.
actually can mitigate.
Yeah.
And like the thing that scares me though, right, is like people that are, you know, obviously not naming names and all that kind of stuff, but there's certain people in the industry that were using it as a loophole, not necessarily taking into consideration the damage it could do for the client, because they still need to be able to afford,
Yeah. It does expose them
you
to
know,
a lot of risk
30 houses.
if it's not
You know,
structured properly.
But that's why, like when, for example, when I work with someone doing a trust,
yeah,
the first thing that I ask someone, if anyone suggests to me that they like want to borrow under a trust, it's not my job to tell someone to borrow under a trust,
No.
right? It's none of it. It's like,
but they trust you.
no, but as someone who gets a lot of referrals for that kind of stuff, and like the first thing you always ask when someone says like, I want to do this underneath a trust is
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
and like identify what their rationale is behind that. Is it because they've just heard online, or is it because they actually have a plan, like that kind of thing? So I think now, you know, I spoke to a fair few lenders like last week, including like the CEO of one, and they were saying, and they were saying like they have no intention on like withdrawing their. Currently, they have no intention on withdrawing or making it more difficult to borrow under trust.
Yeah.
So at this stage, I think it's more of just a deposit-taking institution / bank kind of thing that's happening, which makes sense. You know, you've got the 6 DTI rules coming in, all that kind of stuff. I think they're more like locking down. The lenders have still got their a bit more freedom on it. But yeah, it's interesting to see like how it's going to play out. I had someone ask me earlier this week, or on Monday, they asked me about, you know, like if I go structure all my stuff as a trust right now, how do I know that in 12 or 24 months it's not going to be completely different at that point in time and it's going to be a waste of time doing it?
I think the financial system's always,
Financial system.
Always evolving.
always evolving. And that's why it's like important to have people like us in their corner, right? Because to understand what's going on. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
That's
Like,
it. We're more than just people like, you know, who have 60 plus lenders on a panel, you know?
70.
We've got
It's 70 now.
70.
I'm pretty sure.
70.
Hey, I just don't want to sell Purple Circle
Right.
short, you know?
you
And
know?
guys got to a lot of effort to get us a good panel.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I mean,
It actually could be 80 at this point.
Yeah.
It's quite high.
That's a lot.
yeah.
I mean, if we live and breathe this stuff, right?
Well,
Yeah.
then we've
I
got
heard that 30 is
Yeah.
a good panel now.
Is it really?
30.
It's apparently 30. If you're a mortgage broker, 30 is a good panel.
Yeah.
I think the broker share versus the bank is like what, 70% in favor of us?
I think it's higher now.
It's
75?
going 75. Yeah, I
That's
think
crazy.
it's like edging on 80 now.
Because when we started, was it like 60? Something like that.
it's
Just over
flooded.
half?
It's flooded.
Something
Yes.
crazy. Yeah.
But it's now no longer. And like it's kind of a, you know, I was actually again a lot of conversations. I was talking to a buyer's agent earlier this week, and he, you know, all over this kind of stuff, and we were talking about how it's kind of like it goes both ways. Like in one way, it's a benefit to us, for example. We've all been doing it. Like we've all got minimum 5 years experience now in the industry, like finance, even more than that. 5 years in broking. Like it's good for us because cool. Like if most people want to get a second opinion or something,
Yeah.
then sweet. Like the amount of times I get a client because they've gone and spoke to someone who's only been there for 3 months and something as like as a broker, and until they speak to someone that's been doing it for 5 years and they can see the difference. But at the same time, those people who aren't getting that second opinion, aren't getting the opportunity, like you feel.
What I find is like we're no longer competing against the big banks. You know, we're competing against
other brokers.
like-minded
That's
people.
what I mean. It's now.
Yeah. So in 2026, what's going to make us stand out
Yeah.
against the rest? You know,
We already stand out.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, you know, you already know why. But we got to take it to the next level.
All
That's
three of you
right.
to remember that.
Yeah.
2026, big things.
All right.
Big things.
On to the second thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Now, this is one that Nathaniel and I butt heads about.
Okay. All right, bring it out.
The new, not new, like in effect now, the help to buy 2% deposit scheme.
Help to buy. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts about it?
I hate it.
I like it.
I hate it.
I don't mind it.
You go first.
Go on.
You go first, because I like.
If executed correctly, with the right goals in mind, not just short term but long term, then it makes financial sense. You know,
Okay.
for the right person, for the right target market, then yeah, okay. If this is what you want to do, you want to get your foot in the market, all right, we've got to think long term on this. You know, if getting in the property market, if we've exhausted all other avenues, like all other grants, first home owner guarantee, first home 5% deposit scheme, right? Then okay, let's look at this 2% scheme. What does that look like? How does that allow you to buy property right now? And then how does that fit into your goals long term, right? For you and your family. I think that's the main value that I'm finding clients, having with this scheme.
Okay.
But obviously it's not one of those, all right, let's first look at this one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at everything else. Yeah.
What's
what do
your
you think?
thoughts?
Yeah.
I think that I honestly just think that it's it's just to get your name on a title. Like, there's not really much that comes more out of it. Like, I showed Nathaniel the math on this today. Tell me if I'm wrong here. If you buy a $700,000 property, which is the highest in Queensland you can go as established right now without having to pay any stamp duty.
Stamp duty, yeah.
So, like, we're literally making it as lenient as possible for the buyer.
Yeah.
If you go in on that, and the government puts in a 30% cash contribution, which is what the scheme is. So the government puts in 210,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
The government puts in that money, and then you get a loan, which is like 490, 480 or something.
190,
Yeah, 400, yeah, around that.
yeah.
Then you only have to put in 2%, which is 14,000. So if you do that, your contribution's 14,000, right?
Yeah.
And then if you sell your house in 2 years for 900,000, so let's assume a $200,000 growth in 2 years, which is
Crazy.
quite generous. Saying 200,000 in 2 years you sell, then the money that you'd be left over after like agent fees and after paying out the government's 30% plus the government's 30% on growth, you would be left with around like the $35,000 mark in cash. So essentially what's happened is the same house is now worth 900,000, and your deposit when you go to buy your next place or upsize has only gone from 14,000 to 35,000.
Yeah.
And I was like doing the math with Nathaniel again. Like if you go and, for example, do like a 98% or 99% investment purchase, yes, you have like stamp duty and LMI and all that kind of stuff. But of that $200,000 growth, you're going to get like, you're going to end up pocketing like $170,000 of it after like CGT and all that kind of stuff, right? And agent fees. Because the actual growth ends up being after your 2%, you also get.
It's just weird because there's like the scheme. Do you think it's going to be viable? Like, why would they only release it to 2 lenders?
At the moment,
At the moment.
it's 3, right?
Yeah.
Is
They've
it
got
3?
3, yeah.
But-
They've got another
it's 2.
small. They started with a smaller bank, and then they've got.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like, yes, if you're like maybe like a single parent with like kids and have had like a bad divorce or like
Or
a
I
bad
think
situation, that
even
kind of thing.
without that, like if your borrowing capacity is say 490 max, right? Plus your deposit, say you've only got 14K,
Yeah,
that only
fair
takes
enough.
you to like just short of 500.
But
You
in
know
what?
what I mean?
But,
That
But
makes
like
sense.
if the government is guaranteed 30%, you'll add an extra 210K on that.
but you're still
You
like,
know?
in that instance, right? Like at the end of the day,
Assuming you're going to sell as
yes.
well.
Yeah, that's what I
but-
mean. Like it's more of a
But the whole
long-term
grant,
strategy.
but the whole on the long term thing, it doesn't matter because the whole grant is built around the government having a clip of it, right? So like, for example, like whenever you choose, like even
Like
if you
every
pay
day.
out the loan, even if you pay out the loan and you have debt free, you now have to start paying out the government their proportion.
Yeah.
Like if you, sell, you have to. If you want to pay out the government's proportion,
Yeah.
you have to get a valuation on the property and
Yeah.
pay based on that. So it's never like if you buy at 700,000 and you decide after 36 months you don't want to sell but you want to start paying out the government's proportion, you have to do payments based on 30% of the value of the property, right?
I mean, there's no
the
difference.
time.
Like,
so that always
But if-
realistically, there's no
yeah.
difference between a guarantor and like the government.
There-
right?
there is-
The-
no,
No,
there's
the
a hu-
guarantee,
no,
you're
there's a-
guaranteeing the
there's a
guarantor
hu-
portion
there's
as
a
well, right?
huge
The
difference
guarantor
between that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is in the fact that you're lending, right? So like for example, if you go for like say a guarantor loan, right? On a
Yeah.
guarantor loan, you can lend over 100% of the property's value,
yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, that's capped on what you're
Servicing.
like that's capped on what essentially what you know that cool. This is the maximum that I have to if I sell this maximum I have to pay back.
Yeah.
Whatever
But
you,
have to
whatever
s-
equity
yeah.
growth you get over that,
Yeah.
you'd still get more because you don't have to pay it. Like all that's happening is you're securitizing that loan against another property. You're
Yeah.
not increasing like with this. You're paying it. You're giving the government proportion of your growth.
No, but with the Help to Buy scheme, right, it targets two of the main factors, pain points that I'm finding with first home buyers, right?
Yeah.
It's the deposit, right, and the capacity.
Yeah. Capacity
Right?
is a big thing.
So if you're one of those clients that's like, Nathaniel, I just want to get my foot in the door. You know, I'm one and done, and then I'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Then okay, let's have a look at this, right? If all of your other options are exhausted, whether it's family guarantee, 5% deposit scheme, right? Let's have a look at the Help to Buy. All
Yeah.
right, this is going to be long term, maybe 5-10 years. All
And
right?
it's permanent. You're like,
Yeah, but when you sell, like 10
But-
years, what's the
But
time horizon on that? It's like,
but
you know,
you're still doing based on
double.
the growth, and you're starting with a 2%. Like
if my property's doubled in like, say 10 years,
but it doesn't matter. You're
right,
starting with
then
only-
what's 30%? Then I'll take a sacrifice just because I
Yeah.
got my foot in the door.
But then that's 10
Instead of renting,
But that's
then
10
I'm-
years, right? Like
Yeah.
you're limiting yourself. Like you can't even sell the property for the first 2 years, right? Like
yeah.
like you're
But you wouldn't want to if you're on that. If I'm telling that strategy
you
to a
can't, like,
client,
you can't
I'm
re-
saying them, hey, this is a long term.
I think a lot of people that
You-
would be using that scheme anyway probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be looking at, multiple properties in the
Yeah.
future.
But if
I
you-
imagine.
if you buy a $700,000 property right now
Mm.
with a 2% deposit and use that scheme, and then you sell in 2 years for $900,000 and go back into the market with the money that you net from that sale, you're proportionately now in a lower state with your deposit. Like you're essentially going into a higher market with a lower deposit.
Yeah.
Like you've put yourself in and that's based on $200,000 growth
Yeah.
on 700K
So in that
property.
specific scenario,
So-
if you're going to sell
Yeah.
in 2 years, then yeah.
But in that specific scenario, like, yeah, man, like if you want to buy an investment property, if you want to sell, if you like you can't even sell because like what are you gonna do? Like you sell to upsize or you sell to, you're locking yourself in essentially. You don't know if you're gonna have like kids in a family. You don't know if you're gonna have to
What if they didn't
relocate for
sell?
work. But then you're locked in
Yeah.
to the same property. Like you bought this property when you were a single adult of this age, and now you're locked into it. Or you bought this property when you had one kid and now you have 4 kids. Or you bought this property when you worked in Brisbane and now you worked in Melbourne. Like you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
locking yourself into a position that like unlike the other grants where it gives you the 5% deposit scheme, your first homeowners grant, your stamp duty concessions, all of them are still based around the fact that 2 years from then or 3 years from then or whenever you exit the property,
Yeah.
you're now in, there's nearly impossible, aside unless the market collapses,
Yeah.
you're not in a worse position. Like you're going to have more equity, you're going to have more deposit. This one here, like I said, if you buy for a 2% deposit and then you wait 2 years to sell, your property's gone up $200,000. Proportionately, you now have a harder entry when you go to rebuy.
Yeah.
Like it's more difficult for you to buy in that market after you've sold and increased your property for 200K.
Be interesting to hear what other people's thoughts are on it. I mean, I haven't been fortunate enough to come across any clients that needed it yet, but it'd be interesting to see what the market thinks about the new scheme as well.
I haven't done a single loan for it, and like I know how they work, but I'm
Yeah.
like I just have a lot of reserve about, and I get it, like if you're, as I said before, like a single parent, or if you're like, and I can see why they have the income caps on it, like 100 and 160K, I think it is, like single / coupled. But like, I just think that it's very limiting for what like if you look at the statistics between how many people buy a home or their first home and how many people actually live in it more than like 5 years, or how many people want to refinance it and cash out equity to buy another property, or how many people want to sell, or how many people want to pull money out. You can't even pull money out for renovations, all right? Like you have to fund, it even says on the page, like if you want to do renovations, you have to pay for it from cash, but we will get 30% of the value increase from it.
So I think I was reading the fine print on this one. It's like if your renovations are more than 20,000, then you have to seek government approval. But less than that, you can do it yourself.
No, that's what I mean. You can, but either way, it says in there specifically, you have to pay for the renovations.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go add $100,000 of value to the property, you're the one paying for that work to be done, but you're only getting 70% of the value. Like you're only getting 70% of that.
Yeah.
But that's 70% less the loan as well. So like,
Well, if there's a solution, we'll find it either way. But can I just say, I wasn't too sure about this beer before, but the more the more you sip it, I feel like the better it becomes.
Arr.
It's a nasty devil. But yeah, good topic. That was good.
Yeah, that
I
was
like
a good
that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm open for debate on, and I'm happy to be proven wrong on it.
Yeah, I didn't like it in the beginning, to be fair, but like I said, once you've exhausted everything, it's kind of like all right, you want to get in right now? Okay.
I can see
this
angles.
This is my solution.
I can see angles where it's effective, like I said before.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, and probably because like a lot of the clientele that I work with are a bit different to this. But like, I'm reserved.
It's a new year, and what happens every single year for a lot of people out there? Because I think this time of the year, everyone's going, "What's my borrowing capacity?" That's what I'm getting a lot
Very
of because nearly at the start of every single year, guess what everyone gets? Most of the time, a pay increase. You know, so not you guys. Don't even look at me. You gotta rock up to it.
What?
Yeah. But no, it was good points. And we'll bring you some more finance stuff on the next episode.
Welcome back.
We'll see you next time.
And that's the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you didn't fall asleep. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you learned something today.
Out.